Right, we crown a champion here for the Prestige Cup Series once again here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead commentator for tonight's race here for the Backmarker.shop Season 2 Championship race once again here from Homestead-Miami Speedway, the home of the championship race for the Prestige Cup Series here for Season 2. And looking at some, talking points before we get into some drivers to look out for. The big talking question right now, and it's pretty much locked up. Kendorian Davis, as of right now, a 56-point lead over the rest of the field here, back to two of Gabriel Goli, Jay Hanley, and Brian White, who are actually tied in points here coming in next. It's a 56-point gap. So with the stage cautions, I think that Kendorian would have to have a full field of cars. And for him to like get dead last in stage one, to be outside the top 10 in stage one, and for him to finish outside the top 40 for Gabriel, EJ, or Brian to have a chance here. So right now it looks like we do have about 11 or 12 cars on track. So we would need an abundance more cars. So right now it looks like clear as day. Kendorian Davis, as he takes the green flag, might and very well will be for Season 2 champion as we drop the green flag. And obviously, probably not what a lot of people want here. I think a lot of people would have loved to have like a race here, and whoever gets, the best finishing position, whatever, even if we are going off point closer. Fortunately, Kendorian has just had an amazing playoffs. He's last, really throughout the whole playoffs, he's been, a top 3, top 4, maybe even top 5 driver. And it's shown here, 56-point gap for that number 88 mission with Mach 5 Racing. So we'll need an abundance more drivers to come in here to potentially give Kendorian a chance to somehow get knocked out, and still the cards are a lot in that 88's favor to be ready to go. But we have just under 10 minutes now left, and just under 15 minutes left in practice. We'll go ahead and pull that up now. 7 actually is the time ticks down. We'll go ahead and look at some of your fastest in practice. And speaking of Kendorian Davis, number 88, and now fastest in practice with that Hendrick Cars machine, now 32.1. That best lap for that 88 machine right now. So coming out here at Homestead-Miami in a strong fashion. Obviously didn't really have to win here, but obviously putting in a big explosion at the end to win this championship would really be really cool for this 88 machine. For Kendorian Davis. Geo Turpin back here. We know he's not fighting for a championship, but right now he's sitting here back here. P2 in that Pi Barker Toyota Camry. For $1,042,000, we've seen up front all season long for that Geo Turpin machine. Fortunately, couldn't make all the playoff races. So right now, currently Geo back there in 11, like 100 behind the race leader, behind your points leader of Kendorian Davis, but gonna come out here, have a good last race here. Benjamin Bushnell, we've talked about him throughout the whole season, has had a phenomenal playoffs here. Really turned up the heat last couple of weeks, and now he sits in practice and will actually be heat coming into the playoffs. So we do have a little bit of a battle in between, and we'll talk about those when it comes to points. We do have some battles for points, I guess, for where they're going to finish in the points here for these championship drivers, and we'll talk about that as we get ready to kick down and look at some of these other playoff drivers. So we have to look at Joseph Enright back there, P4 in practice. He comes in P6, about 8 behind race leader. So Joseph Enright showing some speed here. Gabriel Goli, also one of those drivers who have been fast all year round. Now he sits right there, 2 in points, and he's actually tied for P2 in points. We talked about this a little bit earlier. And go, Jay Handley, Brian White with that 13, that 84 machine, tied for P2 in points with the 66. So this will be a battle that we're gonna have to look at throughout the whole race, because not only stage points are gonna matter for who gets that second spot in the points here behind the 88 Kendorian Davis, but whoever finishes. That's right. And right now, he is the fastest of these 3 that are battling for that P2 in points right now, sitting back there in P5 in practice. Eli McDonald, the car right behind him, you're going to see him take a spin down here out of turn 2. Currently P6. Eli, I believe, not racing for a championship. All right. But glad to see Eli continue to come out here at the end of the playoffs, at the end of this season, at the end of season 2 of this Prestige Cup Series, right? It takes. I'm happy to see some of these non-playoff guys continue to show up and really show that they care about this, care about the league, care about the broadcast, really care about these sponsors that they're putting on these machines. It's really easy to be like, well, I'm not racing for a championship. No need for me to show up anymore. Eli has shown up and shown out every week that he's been in this Prestige Cup Series. So, but back to some playoff drivers. TJ Hanley in the 13 right now, in the P6. Right behind them, well, it was Brian White, but now Jonathan Dolly in the 74 has cracked his way inside the top 8. That 74 with that 32.5, about 4/10 off of the fastest lap here in practice. Now Brian White back there in 9. Just got bumped out from the 79, the 74. Brian White first pit stall here. For now, at least. And see him back there, P9, P10. Caleb Gordon. 00 with W machine. New to the Prestige Cup Series, I believe. So good luck in your first and final race of season 2, Caleb. Hopefully you can get a good finish there. In that case, actually, we're just gonna bring him up, another championship driver. Now currently 9. Remember, missed a couple races here, but moved his way up in the P7 in practice. So yeah, that is your field for now. Obviously, hopefully we can get drivers out on track here. We'll continue to monitor some stuff here, but we will. Speaking of monitoring, we are going to monitor some of these points battles that we have on going right now, coming into the championship race. Obviously, Kendorian Davis basically has that first place locked down, but is a 3-way tie for second between this 55 of Gabriel Ngoli, TJ Hinley in the 13, and Brian White and that 84 machine. 3-way tie. 1,600. No, 2,209 points for all these drivers. Second on third. And then we'll see a battle for, it looks like, potentially the 7, as Wyatt Youngblood and Benjamin Bushnell are within points of each other. With that, and potential battle for P5 as Joseph Enright and Wyatt Thompson are within 8. Besides that, looks like else, kind of within battles. And if someone would have a really bad race, you look at some Wyatt Thompson could fall back, or someone like maybe Joseph Enright. If he has a bad race, he could maybe fall into the clutches of Wyatt Youngblood if he decides to show up only 12 points. I believe above someone like Benjamin Bushnell, and someone like, let's see, someone like Benjamin Bushnell could fall back to Zach Case. Benjamin only has a 10-point cushion on Zach, right? Obviously, right now we only have 11 drivers who have shown out here to practice. Hopefully, we can get a couple more to end the season finale off in a bang. But there are some drivers that can fluctuate, and obviously, that battle for P2 and points is something we have to look at all race long between the 55 of Goalie, 13 of Hanley, who's on pit road right now, and that 84 of Brian White. As that first pit stall right now, but obviously pit stalls will change as we get ready to go through qualifying. But about a minute left in practice, and right now Kendorian Davis on top, not only in the points, but right now in practice with that 32.15. Second quickest is going to be Joe Turpin, as we'll actually show your fastest times right here. Is right now your fastest 11 right there on time as we approach the end of practice here for the final time here. Season 2 of the Prestige Cup Series. And went on track here for the last couple seconds here. Probably trying to lock qualifying runs in. Is obviously we know we basically have our champion pretty much locked out. Qualifying is going to mean everything for those 3 battling for that P2 spot. Obviously, stage points are going to be huge here as well, as we'll talk about that once we get there. Be ready to get ready for your qualifying for tonight's race at Homestead, the Backmarker.shop championship race here, brought to you by, once again, Backmarker.shop, huge partner for the Prestige Cup Series, obviously sponsoring the Clash. Come in here and sponsor championship race here from Homestead. Brian White, your first car out here to start his qualifying lap. On board with this 84 machine. See what Brian White can do here. Qualifying lap. Remember, 2 laps for these drivers. So each driver has 5 minutes to set 2 laps that are valid, and that would mean just not hitting the wall, not going in the grass, not doing anything stupid. So plenty of time for these drivers to set a lap here. About 32-second lap times should be more than enough time for everybody to come out here and run a lap if they want to. But Brian White, currently we're looking at him right now in this 84 machine. He starts his first time lap. And down you see him run the bottom 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now this is something we're gonna have to talk about during the race as well, but Homestead just such a dynamic racetrack. You can kind of go wherever you want here, even in qualifying, to make a good lap time. So Brian White currently with the 32.5. He'll be currently your pole sitter, but obviously only driver who has set a lap here. Now Zach Case goes to P2. Now Benjamin Bushnell, as we'll go to him, he takes over your pole sitter, the 32.4. I'm going to look at someone like a Kendorian Davis, like a Geo Turpin, who currently sits P3 with a 32.5. These next gens, I feel like, just from prior experience, the first lap's always the quickest. So we'll see if some people can improve on their lap time here. See Bushnell come across the line. Last lap at 32.6, so about 2/10 off his fast lap. Now Kendorian Davis comes out of pit road. Ready to wrap up qualifying. We'll look at this 88, but if you guys are interested in any of the sports course, we do have the ticker down below. If you guys are interested, you know that NBA season is just starting off. Obviously, Thursday Night Football as the Ravens take on Miami Dolphins. Obviously, that's the basketball season, and obviously the NFL season, even week 8 of their scores updated the best we can there down below. Obviously, college football, obviously, starting to kick off well, so try to have those updated as much down below on our sports sticker down below. But we'll continue to watch Kendorian Davis. We saw him getting in the wall there on that first lap. We'll see if he can make something happen here on the second lap, because I don't think that will be an allowed lap here for this 88 machine. 32.3, but I do not see him move up the charts here. He'll have to try the second time here, as he'll rip the wall once again here in 1 and 2. Across the line here at 32.5, good enough for P3. It's unfortunate because that lap would have got him the pole, but got into the wall there. Turn right, turn around 3 and 4 to complete his lap. Second time lap. Currently P10, not a good lap for this 7 machine. Across the line, 32.5. A lot better than that first lap. He'll put himself in the P6. Jonathan Dolly, the only driver who will not complete a lap here. He'll start tail end of the longest line here. Go ahead and show your top your fastest driver in practice. I mean, in qualifying, as qualifying wraps up here, obviously Bushnell puts himself into the pole for, I believe, the second time this season. And goalie in that 55 we talked about, you need a good qualifying run to put yourself in a spot to race for that P2 in points. Obviously, Kendorian Davis now with the time ticking down here will officially claim a championship here in season 2 for the Prestige Cup Series. So congratulations, Kendorian Davis, as now he is the season 2 champion here in the Prestige Cup Series. What a playoff run for that 88 machine. We'll go ahead and take a look at him, as he'll start P3 for tonight's race, but it doesn't really matter because he just claimed himself a championship. Obviously, we needed a lot of cars to knock him out. I've been showing up tonight. It's not going to be enough to give Kendorian any type of risk or anything to put himself at risk to lose this championship. Congratulations, Kendorian Davis, season 2 champion here in the Cup Series. Now, most of our drivers here lined up and ready to go, so we'll go ahead and look at your starting lineup here, presented by Velocity TV. Benjamin Bushnell in that 25 lead us to green here on the front row as he takes that pole with that 32.436. Abraham goalie, remember, fighting for that P2 spot. Gonna round out that row 1. Kendorian Davis, champion, now gonna start 3rd place. Brian White will round out that row 2 in that P4 position. Gio Turpin will start in P5 alongside Joseph Enright in that 7 machine. That Case back there in the 66 gonna start P7. Eli McDonald be P8. TJ Hanley, not the qualifying lap he wanted, going to be P9 and rounding out that top 10. Caleb Gordon rounding out the rest of the field there back there in P11, all by himself back there in P. And row 6 is going to be Jonathan Dolly, 74 machine. Another pace car pull off a pit road, and 11 cars back onto the track is, oh, it looks like the 84 spins it out of pit road. That's not how you want to start your bid for that P2 in points. Go back and take a look and see what happened to that 84 on the tires. Turns the tires out here. It's the outside wall just a little bit with that left front. We'll catch back up to the field here as he'll be starting back there in P4. Gonna look at your tonight's weather for tonight's race. 74 degrees, 76 track temperature, 95% humidity. So good quality for racing. 135 laps here from Homestead. We do have a stage at lap 40, so we'll be racing on lap 40. 5 sets of tires, including the sets of tires that they have on right now. And obviously we saw the weather forecast, no fast repairs. We get ready to go green here is at 25. A Benjamin Bushnell will lead us to green for the last time here at Homestead. Coming out of turn 4 to complete lap number 1. Give it the goalie in that 55 using that top lane to give himself an advantage here. And already getting out to pull out to a little bit of a lead. Bushnell collecting that inside line, and he'll drop back there in the P2 as there's a battle back there for P3. Brian White gets himself back up here. Now battling side by side. Joseph Enright, Gio Turpin going into 3 and 4. Brian White will catch the outside wall. He'll lose a ton of track position here. Oh, a huge crash in the back. His caution will wave the 00 of Caleb going a huge hit to that outside wall. Take a look and see what happened in this 00 here. Double zero. That is 66. Oh man, I think Spooks the 00. The 00 will kind of self-spin it out and overcorrect it, and the outside wall will nowhere to go for Eli McDonald. What a tough break for that 73 machine. We'll go on board with him, see what he saw off the front nose of that machine. Coming out of here, I mean, obviously he saw that 00 loose here. You don't expect him to just yank it right up the track and nowhere to go for that 73. Tough break for Eli McDonald. Not really anything he could do. I mean, if it were in my shoes as well, I would expect him to kind of keep it down, try to save, not yank it back up the track, but that's what happened to that 73. So you'll see two cars definitely probably come down pit side here. It's the 00 and the 73. We'll have to. Oh, we have a little bit of some beef here. Obviously, the 73 not happy with that 00. I don't blame him. He definitely could have locked it down and avoided, potentially destroying that 73 race car. But obviously, finale. I think everybody wants to come out here and have a good race. And obviously now we see 73 all tore up, the 00 all tore up. Actually have a lot more guys coming down pit road. There's 84, Brian White, gonna come down here. Any damage to that machine? Maybe just topping off on some fuel? Everybody coming down here, yeah, topping up on some Sunoco fuel. That case down here for an extended time. Hopefully everything's okay in that 66 camp. Caution here already on lap 5. All that 73 and 00 coming together here to start at caution. Adrian Goldie will lead us under caution here. Obviously, we saw him take the lead away there, gripping the wall during throughout the whole racetrack, and took that lead away from Bisham, the goalie, in a battle to get that P2 in points. So now this is the best way to do it. Come out here, lead some laps, get some bonus points for leading those laps, and potentially get yourself a win here in the season finale. Christian, remember, he's like a little bit of a battle as well. Only 2 points behind White Youngblood. Actually, Youngblood not attending tonight's race, so that should actually give him that P6, that P7, and tonight, obviously, have to wait by Youngblood creep up and take that P6 spot away. So Wyatt will probably jump back down to probably P9. Christian Zarate, that Kate, and Wyatt Youngblood obviously not attending tonight's race. Obviously, Wyatt Thompson also not up as he kind of trying to hold on to that P5 position. He'll probably drop back to probably P7 or P8. Youngblood will probably drop outside the top 8. Allowed Griffin to potentially a couple spots here. The lights off on the pace car. At 55 elects to pick the top lane. At 55, that 25 Ford Chevy front row will lead us back to green here from Homestead. A great jump from the top lane. That's going to give Enright P2. That's going to allow TJ Hanley to battle for that P3 position. Between him and the 25, a Bushnell. They'll be side by side going in the 3 and 4. Emily and Bushnell still side by side going into 1 and 2, trying to fight it out. The Hanley using that top lane, getting a good run off the corner here, but that 7 of Enright gonna go up there and block that lane. 13 will clear and get down in front of the 25. He's gonna drive it down there in the 3 and 4 to try to get side by side with Enright. That P2 spot, and he'll easily clear. Enright with not the best corner, but he allows to get the run, and now Enright and TJ Henley will be side by side going down the front stretch. Now 3 wide for the P3 position, and now Geo Turpin is elected to go up there and try to rip this top. Go 3 wide, 3 by 3. Here we go. Enright will try to clear as he will now, side by side. Now it's the 42 gonna clear. Now 3 by 3 once again is now Kendorian Davis will go up there and try to run the top. As everybody's just trying to train around. As the 7 with the huge mistake. I'm gonna stock up that top lane. Now Kendorian will go through middle. The 88, the 7, and that 6. Now 4 wide is the 25 has a mistake. Wow, I mean, this is phenomenal racing back out here inside the top 5. Even though Kendorian wins this championship, we know he's not going to be fine just riding around here. Oh, a huge slide from the 74 in the back. Will he save it? What a save by Jonathan Dolly back there. He's going to lose a bunch of track position, but keeps that car going straight here. Go back to your race leader is the 55, a goalie. Started to pull away from the rest of the field. Here, Turpin has found himself in the P3, P2, and then P3. Jay Henley trying to run down that 55. Remember, those two battling it out for that P2 in points. P2 needs to get himself up there if he wants to try to race that 55 for that position in points. Remember, all tied up. So it's going to be whoever can get the most stage points and obviously who can come out here on top here at the finish. Stage points is going to be something we're going to have to try to tally down to see who is going to potentially secure that P2 spot. Everybody has already gotten single filed out and kind of running where they are, going to try to run their own race. Obviously 11 cars tonight here for the Prestige Championship race, so not a ton considering what there could have been, but we'll continue to monitor the battles and stuff as we see Kendorian Davis starting to track down that 13 machine of TJ Henley. Seen that 13 continue to run the bottom lane there. I think the bottom will save a little bit of tires, but if you're trying to pass, I feel like you have to go where the other person isn't every time. Right now you guys see right there the 88, a little bit aero tight. Had to lift out of the throttle there. That's going to allow the 13 to pull away just a little bit. Actually allows that case to pull up to the back end of this 88 machine. And when the car drives as well as it does here at Homestead, you really do have to push it. I mean, obviously there is going to be tire wear, and you have to account for that. But I feel like the car always drives the best when you're in that clean air. So you see the 66 trying to follow the 88 out of an outside wall because the car just wants to push. He's going to do it again once out of turn 2. So in my experience racing here at Homestead, you have to kind of put your car where the other one isn't, right? I will say this, iRacing, when it comes to the physics of this, of the aero and stuff like that, it really has forced people to kind of, I would say, drive more realistically comparatively to how the car used to drive. You really do have to search around for clean air. You really do have to search around to try to get around some people. Once again, you see Kendorian Davis go back up here to this top side and run this 13 back down. The 13 gives some cordial room to the 88. Now the 88 has a run off the top. Will be side by side going into 3 and 4. And side by side, 88 with the run. He should clear this 13 pretty easily with that run off the backstretch. The 13 will get back in line. No. Got to battle once again here in 1 and 2. '88 once again with the run. And not get completely clear as he will this time. Kendorian once again with the run off the top. Surely get clear now. The 13 will drop back in line. Theo Turpin battling for the race lead here. He will clear up in front of the 55 of goalie. And new leader, Theo Turpin, will lead his first laps here at Homestead. Started to see this 55 maybe fall off a little bit. He's been content running that top the whole race here. And I've noticed that when you do that sometimes it does burn off the tires here. Theo has done a good job saving his equipment and was easily able to get around this 55, but needs to keep it there because getting into the wall there's definitely not going to help that bit to keep the lead. But I know we'll keep it as we speak. Look all over the back end of that 55. The 55 is not going to go away. You know that 55 is going to be hungry to get a win. Theo Turpin has a win this season. Gabriel goalie has not been able to check off that off the clipboard yet. Has been close a couple times. Has 4 top 5s this season. Has not been able to go up there and race for a win yet, but unfortunately started to fall off comparatively to that 42. 42 starting to run away. Kendorian Davis actually fastest driver in the field right now. He's only one's in the 32. It's 32.95 that last lap for Kendorian Davis. Gabriel goalie at 30.32. The 33 flat for your race leader. So Kendorian trying to run these guys back down. Remember, Kendorian had the pole lap put in the wall. Just allowing that lap, and we know he's got speed. We know he's got pace. Has to run these guys back down. Only in a second and a half behind your race leader. So remember, we are racing to that stage here on lap 40. So we're counting it down. Almost 15 to go now. 16 to go in stage 1. And now you see DJ Hanley back there in P4. And now in a good spot to get good stage points, but unfortunately that 55 is leering up ahead there. 2 spots ahead there in P2. Needs to try to go down and run down that 55 machine up the road. He wants to try to, secure that P2 in points. You want to talk about a driver who's grinded this whole season. Where he is now, where he is battling for P2. Obviously, Kendorian Davis is your guy for season 2. But I mean, DJ Hanley was nowhere to be found. I would say the first couple weeks of this series. especially in the regular season. But here in the playoffs, you know, we talked about it. When the pressure's on, he performs the best. And we've seen him, you know, come up here and consistently be kind of a top 5 driver. You see him now starting to catch back up to that 88. Kendorian Davis, he knows he needs to go down and run that at 55. But if he has to, he's gonna have to pass your championship, your season 2 champion to get around to get to that 55 machine. But you see them now once again side by side in 1 and 2. They'll be side by side at the 3 and 4. We'll see if that 88 can clear. No, he cannot. Still side by side going into 3 and 4. See the 13 clear up. 88 will cross him over. That'll be the 13 on the top, the 88 on the bottom here going into 1 and 2. He will clear. He's gonna have about 12 laps to go run down that 55 machine. Goalie started to slow down. 13 has started to pick up his pace here. And Hanley still has quite a bit of time to go back up there. Only about 8 tenths behind. See that 13 in the rearview mirror. And he's a little bit quicker than Goalie right now. You see Hanley in the outside wall there. I don't think that's enough to really slow him down a bunch. Can't continue to do that if he wants to run down this 55. But I love to see the differing lines here. Kendorian, he's been really up there on that outside wall. And you look at someone like Hanley, who's been content that they're running right there on that white line, keeping that car on that bottom scene, and he's really seems to have maybe some of the best long run pace right now that we see. Is wow, a huge mistake out of the 55. Here comes TJ Hanley to try to look for P2. With a good run off the top though, but I think this 13 will still clear. Now the 55 is going to have a mirror full of this 88 machine now. Now looking back at Kendorian, he's going to have to try a different lane because we know this 55 has been running the top all around the track here. Someone's going to have to try to find a different way to get around him unless this 55 makes a mistake. We can continue to count the laps down here in stage 1. Dorian just cannot find a way around this 55. I think he's got a little bit faster car. Gabriel doing an amazing job. And doing what he needs to, aero blocking. Getting that car to where that 88's having a hard time to get around. Allowed Hanley to start to pull away from these two. Hanley's still one of the fastest cars on track. Hopefully that 13 didn't push too hard now. Get where he is now, because you start to see him actually start to fall back just a little bit. These two behind him. Hanley with the terrible lap that time. 33.7. Comparing to a 5, a 6, and a 2 for Gio Turpin. Gio Turpin has pulled away in a fast hurry. Almost 3-second gap to the rest of the field here. Gio, one of those guys who's been running this bottom and the middle line here, arcing it, and then he'll exit out wide here, go up to that outside wall, continue to pull away.
This is by far your closest battle right now. This 13, this 55, and this 88 all over each other. Kendorian just still has not been able to find a way around fully. We're right on board with 88. He's going to finally try that bottom lane, not going to make it work, and still not get around this 55. 55 is actually going to get up in an outside wall. That's going to help the 88 a little bit. Hitting the outside wall once again. The issue I see, I don't know, maybe the 88 burned off his fronts or what, but seems like he just cannot get down there and run the bottom as well as someone like Gio or TJ. And if you want to run the bottom here at Homestead, you have to be very delicate with the car. You can't drive it in and kind of force it to stick down there. You kind of have to float it down there and be gentle, let it roll down the bottom. And that's how you save the tires. If the tires are gone, you cannot run the bottom really. And with this all said and done, 25 of Bushdell has caught up to these front two, and these two in front of him, as he's shown a lot of pace here in the last couple laps of stage one. See if he can pass this 88 machine. We'll see Gio Turpin go across the line here in this next couple of turns. They take the white flag lap here in stage one. Good battle back here for third on back. Bushnell is trying to make this bottom line work. I think the 25 will clear here. He wants it. He will take it. Coming around. Take stage one. 42. Give it to Gio Turpin. So Gio Turpin will win stage one here at Homestead. We'll wait on everybody to come around to take the checkered flag. The green and white checkered flag. We will slow this pace down and catch back up to the pace car. Stage one complete. We'll go ahead and let our partners of our racing talk to you, and we'll be right back after pit stops here at the conclusion of stage one. But we'll be right back for this quick commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Homestead-Miami at the completion of stage 1 here for the championship race. A little bit of a change-up. TJ Hanley, Benjamin Bushnell, fastest off pit road. So not the stops, that goalie, Gio Turpin, Dorian Davis, all of them not with the best stop. Allowed some people to come up here. That case now in the 66 gonna be up here at the fast 5, now fast 6. So TJ Hanley, someone to look at here, as he's now given the track position. He might be able to run away with this thing. Obviously, Gio Turpin's going to have to drive his way through the field if he wants to retake this race lead back, as he started to dominate after he took it in stage 1. You will see that pace car take a hard left turn on the pit road. You'll see Hanley, 2 Chevys lead us back to green. Big jump from the 13 to 25, did not get going at all. Now kind of bunch up the field behind the race leader is now. Here comes Gio Turpin on the bottom. Oh, contact between the two. What a save by everybody to get around there. Gio Turpin will come back and take that. Now here comes Kendorian Davis on the bottom of 3. He'll clear up. Oh, the 55 to the outside wall. To the 25 and the 55, side by side, going in the 1 and 2. Look at the 74. Dolly gonna try to make it 3 wide here on the inside of that 55. The 55 will drop back once again. Some guys starting to drop to the field. Goalie having some issues. Remember, he started up there inside the top 4 all the way back to P7 here. Hopefully everything's okay in the 55 campus. Oh, the 84, the slide up in front of the 66. 66 had to get on the binders there to not get in the back of the 84, but going back to your race for the lead, TJ Hanley is continued to have about a 3 or 4 10-second gap here on Gio Turpin, who's trying to run him back down, but he's got a mirror full of Kendorian Davis now. New champ not giving up a good fight yet. You'll see him try to track down this 42, and the 42, his caution is out. Maybe Jonathan Dolly. Just a fin right around. We'll definitely take a look and see what happened between these two.
like a multiple car wreck up here towards the back. Coming out here out of turn 2. Oh man, the 74 is slow. It's in the back of the 74. Ah man, and then just a blink. I don't know if maybe the 74 was trying to alt if you alt forward or if you blinked here, because we still don't see him on the racetrack. But the 70's got in the back of him. You see the 55 kind of getting code hooked, and then 66. I don't know, maybe he didn't think that. What was going on here? Then the 66 will drive in the back of the 7 and kind of make this wreck a little bit worse. Want to take a look at this 55 to make sure he doesn't have a lot of damage. He seemed like he had a... Oh man, and he almost gets into the side of the 66 here. Yeah, the 66 comes up the track. I'm not sure if that was just kind of a not knowing where he is, or if that was a shot. I'm not sure, but lots of confusion. Did you see him? I don't know if maybe he spun the tires or what, but maybe some upset feelings, maybe something else, but that will definitely be a caution. To get back to our race leaders, TJ Hanley, Gio Turpin, Kendorian Davis, your top 4, your top 3, my apologies. Might as well talk about him. Benjamin Bushnell around that fast 4, and a good race for 25 right now. Remember, it's qualified up there and on the pole, so has been able to stay with in the top 4 really the whole race. Remember, at the end of stage 1, started to run down the race leaders and stuff. Got past Kendorian Davis in the final laps to take away that P3 position, and showed a lot of long run pace here. So if we can clean up the cautions here, I think this 25 has a good shot at potentially going out there and racing for first one of the season. Because I mean, definitely shown a lot of paces in the playoffs in general. The reason why right now he's battling a top 10 spot in the points. So one who definitely didn't want to see that caution. He had a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Him to be stacked back up with the likes of J. Turpin and Kendorian Davis, Bushnell, the 84, Brian White, battling for that P2 in spots at 13. So Brian White did a good job getting around that right now. Will get himself a top 5 position here. Start lap 52 as we get ready to go green. See the lights on the pace car are off. Take that hard left turn back down pit lane in the 13 at 84. That 42, my apologies. Toyota Chevy front row is TJ Hanley will lead us back to green once again. Kendorian Davis trying to make that spot for the P2, getting that 42 a little air loose. So side by side down in 3 and 4 they'll go. 42 will try to hold off that 88 machine. 88 gonna get in the back of the 42. What a save by Gio Turpin. You know he's not gonna be happy about that one. Now here comes the 25, a Bushnell. He's gonna take over that P3 position. Battling out back, Brian White, side by side with the 66 of that case. Give the 66 that P5 position. And with that damage, that case has driven himself all the way back up inside the top 5, but getting into the outside wall, give the spot back to the 84 of Brian White. up to a sizable gap. Out of 84 back there. 55, you'll see the 88 of Kendorian Davis try to run down your race leader. Benjamin Bushnell back there in P3. Theo Turpin settles back into P4 after that contact with the 88. Don't know Jonathan Dolly to be seen. Hopefully everything's okay in the 74 camp. I presume it would be an internet issue. Obviously we can't see on our side if you feed or what, but that case towed the pit road. Unfortunate for the 66. '42. Start to run down this 25 machine. So Gio, we know he's got pace underneath this car. Needs to go back to retake it. Fucking Kendorian Davis actually get to the back end of the 13 machine. Not make a move though. And you see now that at 88 he's started to run the bottom a lot more this run than he did last run. You saw that 88 really only run that top lane for the whole first run. Probably lost a little bit of pace there in the long run. And if you want to run the top, you have to do it. You have to be gentle with the car, I guess is the best way to put it. You can't go up there and like push the car and try to push to get pace out of the car. I presume there's going to be around 40 laps of fuel here. That's how admins have really been, especially at these mile and a halves, scheduling these stage cautions around the time you need a pit for fuel is when that stage 1 will come out. So these drivers at least have to go 40 laps, so they're gonna have to save, tires for that 40 laps that you have to do here at Homestead. Now you see kind of this front four underneath the blanket now. No one really making a move on each other yet. Now the 42. Benjamin Bushnell will have a little bit of pressure from the 42. Theo Turpin has caught the back end of this 25 machine. See that 42 just wrapping the bottom a lot better. This 25 he'll look to the outside. 25 will block it. Now the 42 not quite there yet to make a move. Once again, we'll wrap the bottom here. Trying to make a run. Oh, wrecking in the back. That is the 84 of Brian White. I don't know if that's going to be a caution, as it will. Brian White with a huge slide out of turn 2. Look at what happened to this 84 machine. Out of turn 2. Might have been out of turn 4. You already see the back end starting to step out here. I believe it was coming out of turn 2 here, probably to start this lap.
Maybe he got the apron. Was kind of riding that seam. There it goes. They're just gonna step around on him. Tries to save it. Oh man, just gets the back end. I was wondering if that was gonna be a caution because he's off the racing surface. That's probably what did it right there. Doing that. That's probably what got it right there, was coming back on and looping it back around. He had a lot of space to do that on the apron. I'm not sure why he decided to come on track and do that. That's just only him to know, but that will definitely be a caution once again, and we'll go back down and catch back up to this pace car. So, green flag. Pit stop's underway here. TJ Hanley. Oh, the 42 Geo Turpin. Huge mistake off of pit road. Oh, man. Trying to be aggressive off. I don't see a lot of damage to that machine. I really don't see any damage. So, well, maybe that 42 got lucky there, but dang, not what you wanted to see out of that group. TJ Hanley will win the race off pit road. Kendorian Davis P2, Benjamin Bushnell P3, Geo Turpin P4. Somehow loses no time. In no track position from that accident, you know, if you want to call it that. Gabriel Gully now finally comes off pit road, probably trying to get some of that damage fixed from that first caution, from that second caution. See Brian White off pit road. 00 Caleb Gordon. Like he's got a brand new car underneath that 00 machine. Joseph Enright back here. One lap down. I don't know if anybody's gonna get the lucky dog here. We at the tail of this kind of lead lap cars. And we're only down to 8 drivers on track now. That case, Eli McDonald, Jonathan Dolly still have not decided to come back on track here. Now it's down to 8. 6 cars on the lead lap, and then you have Joseph Enright, Caleb Gordon, 1 lap down for the 7 laps down for that 00. But see that pace car hook one more time. Hard left turn down pit road. Now 2 Chevys will lead us back to green as TJ Hanley, Kendorian Davis, your season 2 champ, will lead us back to green. Good cordial start out of everybody involved. Is now the 42 Geo Turpin gonna try the outside around this 88 machine. Where the 88 and the 42 already had some drama, some contact. We'll see how hard they're going to be willing to race each other now after that contact between those two. The 88 will try to jump up and clear. Not clear yet. The 42 will be side by side. Side by side. Still once again for P2 is the 42 going to try to use the top lane. The Kendorian Davis will try the bottom. He'll finally clear, but here comes the crossover from the 42 of Geo Turpin. Turpin will now take the bottom, and now the 88 will be forced to use the top. '88 with a good run off the corner, going to be side by side once again for the P2 position. Give it to the 42. Oh, the 88 sideways from the bumper off the 42. We knew that was coming back. And now Geo Turpin will securely take over that P2 position. 88 and the 25 are going to have to duke it out for this P3. Dorian will secure that P3 position. Now he's going to try to go run down that 42 once again. I want to see whether this turns into something or if it doesn't. Obviously, Kendorian gave the 42 the bumper. Gio gave it back. I think, that's a 1-1 shot if you're going to call it kind of like boxing. 1-1, right? I feel like what happened to that 88 isn't really out of line from what happened to the 42. Obviously, Kendorian already secured the championship. Obviously I get racing for a win. Gio Turpin's still trying to race it, maybe get a spot or two in the points. We have several drivers who haven't shown up, Wyatt Youngblood, Wyatt Thompson. Decided not to show up tonight. And Zerati decided to not show up. He's ahead of that 42 in points. Trying to get everything he can out of this car. Eventually get a couple spots up in the points to give himself a better look here going into season 3 if he decides to come back here to the Prestige Cup Series. Oh, a blanket for this top 4. No one really been able to get away from each other. Gonna have a battle for the lead as the 42 starts to reel in the 13 and the 25 in its own right. Starts to reel down this 88 machine. So 2 little mini battles, but still a blanket under these top 4. Again, I start to think about these lines once again. See, the 25 really disciplined down there on the bottom lane. Been running there the whole race. Seen him, make some pace up there in the 88. And I've been running the top now, trying to figure out a different lane because we saw that he just did not have the long run pace that we expect Kendorian Davis to have. Gio Turpin has had the best long run car. It has to run down to your race leader if TJ Hanley. Obviously, we know how difficult it is to pass here with these next-gen cars. Oh, the 25 is loose in the back there. Benjamin Bushnell with a huge slide. That he's going to lose a lot of time from that. Keeps it going straight. Good save out of that 25. We'll go back and take a replay. A huge slide out of turn 2. Keeps it going, though. Keep it green. Now it's a 3-car pack up here for this lead. Gio Turpin has still not been able to find a way around the 13 of Hanley. That TH Designs machine. And once again, huge shout out to TH Designs for sponsoring the playoffs for the Prestige Cup Series. Couldn't do it without them. DJ trying to hold on to your race lead here in the finale here for the Prestige Cup Series. Obviously, we've already crowned our Season 2 champion in Kendorian Davis. Already had a 56-point lead, needed a lot of cars to show up to give him a shot to lose this to someone like TJ Hanley. But as soon as we took the green flag for tonight's race, he was awarded that championship, and he earned it. Had a phenomenal playoffs and did a fantastic job keeping that car up front all season. And that consistency, I think, out of this 88 machine is what got him this championship. Everybody else had some up and down races. This 88 had been a top 5 car and got top 5 finishes. I feel like every race, Now a battle for the lead ensues. Gio Turpin gonna make the move on the bottom lane against the 13 machine. Gio Turpin trying to run that bottom lane, but the top lane has a little bit of momentum, some contact between your two leaders. Turpin will make the pass here We'll see if TJ tries to make something happen. They cannot make the pass. Turpin will retake your race lead here on lap 77 to 135. See if he can pull away, or maybe that 88 saving something. He's really been content just kind of riding right now. Obviously, we ran about 15 laps on this stint for everybody. So, we got a long ways to go before green flag pit stops would ensue. Maybe that 88 saving something. Benjamin Bushnell ran your fastest lap that last. Out of these top 4, he's been the fastest car. Remember, had that slide. Has not given up on this machine yet. Starting to pull away just a little bit from this 13 machine of handling. We saw this before. Gio took the lead, started to pull away slowly. Now a 10th or 2 a lap, another 10th, another 10th, another 10th, and then we got that stage 1 caution. To complete stage 1, he had almost a 3-second gap. And Dorian has gone up to the top once again. Maybe he was saving something so he can go up there and start to rip the wall. Saw that he was a lot quicker ripping the wall, but he lost a lot of pace on this long run doing this. So maybe he tried to save a little tire, and now he thinks it's time to go. Now he's side by side with the 13 of Hanley. Down in the 3 and 4, we'll see the 13 on the bottom. 88 will run the top. Side by side out of the exit, will give it to the 88. He should have a good run out of 3 and 4 here and easily clear the 13. He will. As Kendorian Davis saved some tires to go down and run down this 42 machine. You know, these two have had some history in this race. I don't know, maybe that's some motivation to go down and take this race lead away from Gio Turpin, or maybe that was just a coincidence. Obviously, we can't know, only the drivers can, so. Team Gio adjust his line a little bit. Now, instead of running that bottom, he's going to run in this middle line. Maybe that's an adjustment to try to give that 88 a little bit more dirty air on that top line, right? I mean, dirty air is something you have to talk about now, especially on the track like Homestead. You'll see the 88 getting to the outside wall. Somehow keeps it going straight. He'll actually gain a little bit of time coming down the back, right? This is the count and mouse game, right? Obviously, he's going to lose a lot of time on entry versus that 42 running on the bottom. But look how much time he gains down the straight. He'll lose about a 10th on entry, and will gain 2/10 on exit, right? But how long can he keep this up? Got it within the 310 mark, that last corner. I see him. He's running really well now. This car drives. I think it's handling pretty well. But as soon as he gets up to that 42, he's going to have to readjust this line. When he gets within about 1 or 2/10 of this car, the dirty air will start to come into effect here. That 42 will come up the track, give him the dirty air. It's going to have to, and it's going to start to affect him here a little bit. Caution is out. Forget that battle. We're going to slow these cars back down. Like maybe Joseph Enright. Oh, wow. Huge crash back here. Okay, so it looks like Joseph might have wrecked this thing quite a while ago and was just trying to limp it around here or something. I'm surprised this wasn't a caution to start with. We'll have to go back here in this replay and see what happened in this 7 machine. So he'd been doing this for quite some time now, and that's kind of unfortunate to see. I mean, we're going back laps and laps and laps. I want to see when this happened. It seems like it's happening for a while now. But this is the restart. So he's been doing this for 24 laps, it looks like, because that's when we restarted last. He's been just ball popping and doing all kinds of stuff, you know. I don't know how he didn't get a meatball from doing this. You see him blocking the 84 all the way down underneath the yellow, just making contact. And obviously that car, I mean, you see that left front is not even turning. There's definitely a lot of damage to this car. You'll go up here where he finally pops the outside wall here and finally breaks the car. But he's been doing this for at least 15 laps. I mean, I'm surprised that the admins have allowed him to continue to do this. I mean, see him, and you'll see him come to a stop up here as he exits what would be enters the Roval section of the Homestead-Miami Speedway. I should see him, yeah, park it on the exit here, get himself stuck. Now he's going backwards on the track. Oh, my apologies. I hit the rewind button. That would make sense. He gets himself stuck here in the Roval section. Somehow this triggers a caution, which is unfortunate because we had a good green flag run going here. Continue to see the adventures of the 7 machine here. We can get some cameras on him. And just parks it down here. Oh, well, we were on looking at the whatever that was. Green flag. We did have everybody come down, obviously take some, I'll presume, some tires here. And Gio Turpin, Kendorian Davis will lead us back to green here as we get ready to go inside that restart zone. We'll be green here. Jump by Turpin. TJ Hanley will be side by side with the 88 of Kendorian Davis. Look at the 84. Brian White going to make it 3 wide. Going to back out of it, actually. TJ Hanley will now let the 88 go. I'll be side by side back there for the P4 position. Brian White. And now the 25 of Benjamin Bushnell will be side by side here out of turn 4. Good run from the 25, but also a good run for the 84 as we continue to stay side by side going in 1 and 2. The 25 up top going to try to rip the wall here. Get the momentum off the corner, and he'll clear that 84. Put him back in the P4 position. Kendorian, remember, I don't know, maybe he had a little bit better tires than that 42 machine, but was running him down in a hurry, and that caution came out. So obviously we have 46 to go, 45 to go. I think we're in that range of being able to make it to the end, I presume. So now it's just about tire conservation, right? and you can serve those tires better than that 42 up front. He's already started the gap quite a bit, almost a second already for the rest of the field here. So, you know, he's pushing a little bit, maybe a little bit harder than Kendorian is. A little bit harder than TJ Henley is, and Bushnell and White, and now Goalie, who are the only 6 cars here on track. If you're Kendorian, you try to keep that pace, but do not use your stuff up to, you know, try to go running back down. We have 44 laps. Save your equipment, save your stuff, and if you want to go race for that win, maybe save a little bit more tire than the 42 and go race them. You know, I would say you would want to start pushing, depending on where the gap is, around, I would say 15 to go if you want to get him at the line. So see Davis back there in P2, TJ Henley back there in P3, Benjamin Bushnell P4, running out that top 5 is that 84 of Brian White, and Gabriel Goalie back here way off the pace here, about 6 seconds off the pace. He'll be back here in P6, trying to hold on here. You see a lot of front end damage to that 55 machine, and caught up with some incidents. You just see him just trying to run the rest of these laps out. 42 to go. Try to finish out strong here for this 55 machine. Obviously, I think he would need a miracle to get back to that 84 or that 13 machine of Hanley to take over that P2 points. And remember, with those stage points, I think TJ got P2 in stage 1. I'm not sure where the 84 finished in stage 1, but I'm pretty sure it was the 13, the 55, and then the 84 when it came to points wise. So he would have to go up there, and it would be close. I think he'd have to win the race to take over P2 if TJ sits there in P3. I believe he was 2 spots behind the 13 at the end of stage 1. That means he'd have to make up for that by being 2 spots ahead and winning the race. Actually, I think the winner gets, you know, a couple more points than the 13, so that would securely give him that P2 in points. But unfortunately, right now, this 42 and this 88 are on rails right now, as they continue to pull away from the rest of the field. See once again Hanley back there in the P3. Benjamin Bushnell hot on his tail in that P4 position. "39 laps to go here from Homestead." And you know what? We haven't got to do this a whole lot this season, but we have an opportunity to. Let's go ahead and crank it up here from Homestead-Miami Speedway.
apologize for the mic being muted once again. As we saw, I guess we'll do a recap. We saw a 25, a Bushnell, lose it there. They'll spin on the restart. Oh, we're coming back to green here. 13 of Hanley, the 42 of Turpin going to lead us back to green here with 30 now, 29 laps to go. They'll jump by the 42, and the 88 will jump back ahead of that 13 machine, Kendorian Davis, with 29 to go. Does he have anything for this 42 machine? Kendorian going up to that top lane that he loves. We run here to make up some time. 30 now, 29 now, 28 to go. I feel like there's still enough laps that you can't really forego saving tires. I think we're just in that kind of sweet range where if you do burn your stuff off, I mean, you know, with, you know, 10, maybe 5 to go, you'll start to feel that effect. So I feel like you need to save just a little bit here. Give yourself insurance to kind of push the rest of the way here. Now, I wonder if that's what that 88's doing right now. See Turpin continue to slowly pull away just a little bit, about 0.4 of a second. Over at P2, you see TJ Henley right behind that 88 trying to pursue him as well. Then you see the 84 Brian Wyatt back there in the P4 position. Now if that 84 can get around, I don't know. I don't remember where. I know that Brian did not finish well in stage 1, so I think he'd have to go out there and win the race to put himself over that 84, I mean that 13, to take that P2 and points away. And Dorian Davis, as we ran down the 42 machine, is on a hot pursuit. Heard that 88 getting to the outside wall there, but a huge run. By the 88, he's going to get in the outside wall again. But he's going to have a huge run out of the corner once again, side by side for the race lead. Here comes Gio Turpin. Now going to be side by side down into 1 and 2. And Dorian will run the top. Gio Turpin runs the bottom once again. Gio needs to have a good exit here to keep it competitive. He's going to slide up in front of the 88. A crossover by Kendorian Davis. Contact. Now the 88 will clear once again, as he's really fighting hard for this race lead now. Go down there and block the lane there. That 42 has been running that bottom lane all race long. It's going to give that 42 some dirty air. Going to have to force him to pick a different line. He will securely take over this lead. You have to look out for TJ Henley back here. He's just kind of sitting back here, watching these guys battle it out. Hoping these guys use their stuff up. Hoping that these guys can, you know, rough each other up. Give themselves some damage. Maybe use their tires up. And he'll be right there in the wings to attack if they do something wrong here.
Turbine is not. Oh, it's the 88's gonna get loose. Kendorian will get up into the 13. Lots of damage to that 13 machine now. Kendorian Davis with some damage as well. I think TJ's broke. I think he's hurting bad. Like, look at see what happened here. Kendorian, I think that's just, you know, what we call it now in the sim is aero griefing. In this next gen, you can get right behind someone and kind of get someone aero loose like you could back in the Gen 6, and that's what happened. 88 gets loose, tries to walk it up to try, gets into the side of the 13. The 13 gets the worst out of that. Dorian is not giving up this fight yet. Remember, he went and ran down and took the lead away. I think he's going to try to do that once again as he is ripping this wall. Try to get back to the 42 of Geoturpin. Geoturpin now just under a second lead with 19 to go here from Homestead. Okay, just trying to limp this car around now. So here comes the 84, Brian White. Ryan will get up into the outside wall. We'll clear the 13 here on exit. What a shame, man. TJ had such a fast car all race. Wrong place, wrong time. Here with 18, what was it? 21 to go. Gonna have to settle just to kind of limp it around and hope for something to happen here. Here comes Geoturpin down here in the 3 and 4. Kendorian is ever so slightly reeling him in. About a half a tenth a lap. He needs a little bit more time. He needs to get a little bit more time back if he wants a chance to get back to the 42. Obviously, we know that 42 didn't mean to do that, but I don't really think that's how Kendorian sees it. A lot of these drivers know that you can get up behind someone and do that to them. And they know, that they know, right? I guarantee you, Kendorian knows that Gio knew that you could do that and get him upset. So I know that, Kendorian isn't probably too happy about that. So he's going to try everything he can to go back there, go back and run down this 42. He's doing a great job. Already got it down underneath, 8/10 here. Outside wall. You see, look how much speed he carries on exit. It doesn't matter that he got the wall there. Still gains about a whole tenth of a second on down the backstretch. The issue now is he's not really closing enough. He wasn't closing as fast he was now. Did he use his stuff up a little bit, trying to rip that top to get back to your race leader? '42 went up and ran the top. I don't think the 42 knows how to run the top as well as that 88. So honestly, I think the 88 what the 88 wants is for that 42 to go up and aero block him. That 42 does really well when he runs down on that bottom. He can get a good exit and at least mitigate the damage down the backstretch. But that 88 is coming, and he's coming quick. He knows that he's figured out this top lane, and he's getting massive runs down the backstretch compared to this 42.
look at your lap per lap here. I'm not sure if that's... I mean, obviously that's not correct at all. So actually, we'll take this off your screen. And one thing I'm looking at really for this 88 is there's a kind of a way that you can cheese this wall where you can kind of wall pop and getting a little bit of time doing that. And you know, I was in a league once where that was frowned upon, and someone actually got their win taken away because of that wall popping. I was interested to see if that 88 was doing that, but I don't really see that. Not getting up into the outside wall. Trying to do it cleanly. Right there, he's going to get on the outside wall there. That's going to lose him a little bit of time. He got it within 4/10 and just kind of has stayed there now. Continue to look at this battle now. 9 to go here from Homestead, your championship race, and it's not over yet for this race for the win. Wow, a big corner out of the 88 right there. See, if I'm a teammate of Kendorian, if I'm his crew chief, I don't know if he does have a crew chief. I'm telling him you cannot hit the wall on the exit of this corner. Be a little bit conservative on entry because you cannot be hitting it on exit. You're faster than this 42 right now. Do not hit this wall here. He lost a lot of time that last lap getting up into the wall. He's going to have to regroup and try to make something happen here. He lost about almost 2/10 just that lap. And that might be enough to give Geo Turpin the win here if this 88 cannot put some laps together. Actually slowing. He's fading. That 88 is fading compared to that 42. I have to go here from Homestead. Does this 88 have anything for Geo Turpin? Or is Geo Turpin going to come out here and win his second race of the season in this 42 machine? Mach 5 have anything for Legacy Racing Club here? Geo Turpin. They're 3 and 4. He's going to take it. 3 laps to go here from Homestead. Continuing the pull on that 88. 6 mistake-free corners here. And back around. Gio is continuing to pull a gap on that 88 machine. And it was really these two for the win here. Everybody else is out with damage or slow with damage or whatever. 2 laps to go here for this 42 machine. The blink out here. We'll see if he can come back. Here he is. Coming out of 3 and 4. We'll give him to it. We'll give it to him. White flag in the air for Geo Turpin to complete Season 2 of the Prestige Cup Series. What a race from this 42 machine. What a race from the 88. I mean, these two have beaten and banged and done everything they could to try to outdo each other here. But coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. Geo Turpin, in a fantastic fashion, will come out here and win your season finale here from Homestead. Here comes Kendorian Davis, your Season 2 champion for the Prestige Cup Series. And I don't know who to look at here, your race winner or your champion, but congratulations to Kendorian Davis, your Season 2 champion here for the Prestige Cup Series, and congratulations to Geo Turpin, his second win of the season. What a battle between those two. But obviously we see the 42 eking out that 88. 88 might have had something, but just kept getting up into that outside wall, making mistakes. Allowed this 42 to go and pull away here. We'll watch this 42 burn it down here for the second time here this season. I'll see if we can do this. See if these two will burn it down together. There you go. That's what we want to see. Congratulations to those two. Champion and race winner. What a season from everybody involved. And I do, you know, as someone up here who enjoys putting on good racing, I enjoy and I appreciate everybody who came out here to Prestige Cup Series. Whether it was in the early days, you know, we saw, you know, the Quill Motorsports guys who showed up and showed out early, right? You have the guys who stuck it out toward the end here. You know, the TJ Hanleys, the Kendorian Davises, the Joseph Enrights. I really do appreciate everybody for coming out and making this pleasurable experience for myself and everybody over here for High Velocity TV. I mean, we loved calling the races here, and once again, congratulations to these two. Let's go ahead and bring up this. We're gonna actually go and take a quick commercial break. Let everybody get into the VC here, and we'll talk to your champion. We'll talk to your top 3 right after a word from my sponsors.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back live here for the post-race show here for the season finale here for the Prestige Cup Series here from Homestead-Miami. Let's go ahead and talk to the man of the hour, the man of the season. Go ahead and talk to your Season 2 champion, Kendorian Davis. Hey, Kendorian, is Christian up here in the HVTV booth? You got a copy? Well, first of all, congratulations on this, championship here for season two. Obviously, you were on fire not only throughout most of this regular season, but honestly, it was really this playoffs that really allowed you to come home. You were a champion. Obviously, really needed a lot to go wrong here for you to lose this championship, but obviously here, it's all you do those burnouts. But once again, congratulations on this championship for you in season two. And on top of that, a P2 finisher from Homestead. So just give us your marks about the season, about this race, about whatever you need to, and what got you here into a championship appearance.
But I'm happy to get the season finished. I'm happy to get this championship because it's been a long time coming. I have been to so many championship appearances outside of so many leagues, including this one. The first season, like I was coming in, I was second in points all regular season, but then I made it to the playoffs and had just a majorly bad implosion. Things just did not go right. So it is extremely epic to be able to finally get this championship, to finally become a league champion.
I mean, there's nothing really like it. I mean, I don't think, a lot of people realize like how much work, how much time it takes, not only just showing up and racing, but you have to be on your game the whole season. And obviously the playoffs do, help out in some cases, but you really do have to be on your A game week in, week out. You can't show up, you can't slouch, right? You have to come up here and put your money where your mouth is here. Obviously we saw you come in here, you really, I mean, we needed a full field plus you having a bad race for you to not win. Obviously, you came in here as soon as we took the green flag, you were crowned our champion for this. So I mean, walk us through that hard work that it takes to get you in that kind of position.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of work. What you want to do is just the main most important thing. I know a lot of people want to get wins, and that is important. I mean, it's flashy and all, but at the end of the day, points are what matter. If you constantly finish top three, top five, top 10, those points all add up. It can carry you all the way to the championship. You just have to focus on the bigger picture. And thankfully for this season, I was able to come back from my poor start and salvage. We locked in, we started getting those consistent finishes, and everything just came together.
Definitely did for you, Dorian. And once again, congratulations. I mean, I don't really know how to put into words, how important, these championships mean to you, Mach 5, and everybody who supports you, sponsor and everything else. So I'm just going to give the floor to you to give your thanks, your shout outs, and everybody for this championship here for the season two, the Prestige Cup Series.
Yeah, definitely. Like I like to shout out, like everyone, all of my good friends are in the league, all of the drivers that showed up every week that stuck it out. You guys in the broadcast booth. It's been quite the season too. I mean,
I mean, I know it's hard to put into words, especially I mean because this is at least from experience, this is kind of where it hasn't even sunk in yet. I worked my tail off to go out here and I did it right. So, but once again, I'll let you go back there, celebrate with friends and family, all the people here in this great league, and hopefully we can talk to you. Hopefully, if you guys have us back next season here for season three of the Prestige Cup Series.
oh yeah, definitely. We are definitely cooking up something. We'll let you guys know something soon.
Yep.
But thank you for having me in the booth, and yeah, time to go celebrate. I'm a champion.
Congratulations, man, and have a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go ahead and talk to your race winner. Obviously, it's kind of awkward, right? You won a race here. Fortunately, there's another bigger hand in the pot here, which is a championship driver getting his job done here. But let's go ahead and go ahead and get his promos. He deserves it as well. Go ahead and talk to that 42, Geo Turpin. Hey, Gio, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, obviously, you're a race winner tonight, and obviously, I feel for you, man. Obviously, you won. This is your second win of the season, but fortunately, Kendorian, winning the championship, it kind of gets overshadowed. But once again, congratulations. I mean, what a way to win. You and Kendorian battling it out. Contact between you two, really, really aggressive, rough racing. But obviously, it was exciting to watch up here in the booth. It was exciting to call. Walk us through this race. Walk us through what got you up here in the victory lane.
Yeah, I'm just really happy about the effort. Just a great race. This I know last week was kind of it wasn't we won it, but it wasn't like pretty. We were kind of stuck running around half the night and winning all strikes. This one we just straight up won by dominating, which I'm really happy about. But we struggled a little bit in practice and qualifying. I know we rolled off P4, so it wasn't the greatest showing, but I knew once we got in the race we would have a good car to fight for a top three, and we definitely able to show that early. I went out and won the stage and led a majority of the opening stage. And then had couple of troubles on pit road there in the middle of the race, but um, gathering it all back up, and we were able to take the lead back there with about 60 or something to go. And I know we had another late caution or a restart. And then Kendorian ran us down a little bit. We had a battle with him. He was fighting a really loose car. I can tell every time he passed me, got in front of me, I can just see his back end just wanting to kick around. So I knew even if I had a little more worn tires, I could probably most likely get around him, hang on, because I know he was fighting a really bad race car there. But he put up a good fight. Really happy to battle with him, being the champion for this win. And this is really a statement win for this 42 team. I know, like you said, it kind of sucks we weren't in the fight for the championship, but I can't help but think if we didn't mess up at Dago, we could have won. If we didn't wreck ourselves at Dover, we could have won. We definitely could have been in the title fight, and this race was not just for me, but just for the whole 42 team to prove that we can go on a championship run, and we put up a championship performance tonight. So I'm very happy and excited to go back to back for the first time in my career.
Definitely, yeah, big morale boost for this 40. Everybody who helps out with this, obviously going back to back. I mean, that is a statement, right? And that you talked about last week. It was kind of not the most deserved, but this one obviously you come out here, you're a top two car and everything else. And going back to talk about how you set up this race. Obviously, you have to talk about Homestead, right? How you can set up the car, right? It looks like you were content kind of running the bottom, and Kendorian was the guy who was ripping the wall. Do you think that when it came to the tire wear and the handling of the car, you think that had anything to do with it, with you kind of being very persistent about trying to run the bottom? I think, in my opinion, the bottom does a little bit better with tire wear versus that top where you just kind of have to be on it all the time.
Yeah, certainly your lane choice does affect your car, especially on the long run. And I knew even with the multiple cautions scattered through the first stage that we would end up getting that long run, which allowed me to go on and win the stage by quite some margin. But yeah, I've learned from running at this track a lot that if you can stay consistent to the correct lane, which the bottom is the correct lane, you will prevail even if dirty air or whatever. You'll still find a way around. That's how I won the opening stage because I know I think it was I don't know what number it was. The 55, yeah, the 55 was actually leading in the beginning of the first stage, and he kept running the top. And I just get committed to the bottom the whole first stage and the whole rest of the night. I knew the top lane's fast, but it's gonna bring your rubber up a lot quicker than what you want it to. So I knew staying consistent to the bottom will be the key to winning this race, and I showed that it was. And yeah, I'm just really happy on how I executed this race. Honestly, the only screw up I had all night was pit road. I spun myself coming out of my box and missed the box, but other than that, I say it was a flawless night.
All that, uh, if you want to call it a mistake out of pit road, and it was interesting to see. Luckily, no damage for the 42 in that right, but yeah, you kind of called it right there. I mean, lane choice. You're in the bottom. It helped with the tires. You were able to, set up the car for the long run. I think that's what you need to do for a track like Homestead, where a lot of the times I would say even some of the cautions that came out tonight were borderline whether they should have came out or not. But obviously, iRacing
Yeah.
cautions, that's just kind of how the race goes sometimes. But once again, still a dominating performance from you, holding off not only everybody else, but your season 2 champions. Congratulations on your second win of the season here to end, season 2. But before we let you go, does anybody want to shout out here for this win tonight here at Homestead?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to give a shout out to all the fans watching. Thank you for, tuning into the stream, watching the final race this season. It's been a fun season. And I was able to get a home track win. Check that off my list for the series. So very excited about that. Once again, thank you all the partners here in the Legacy 42 car. Barker being on for this Miami win. Advent Health, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Carvana, Lowe's, Ally, Gear Wrench, Olipop, all the sponsors we throw on the Legacy cars and for all our series and leagues that we run in. Just thank you for the support and big thank you from the team. And thank you to the broadcast crew for streaming these races through the whole season. And I've had a lot of fun, and I can't wait for next season.
We appreciate the kind words up here. Yeah, hopefully if we can make things work. I'm very excited to come back for your season, able to continue to do what I do here. But once again, congratulations to you, Joe, on your win. And if we end up not coming back here, hopefully we can talk to you maybe in another series, maybe whatever it is. But once again, congratulations. Have a good rest of the night, and hope you can take this momentum into season 3.
For sure. Thank you. You have a good night too.
And last but not least, let's go ahead and talk to your P3 finisher. A very quiet night for this 84. But I don't know what points are going to look like between Brian White and TJ Hindley, but let's go ahead and talk to this 84 machine. Hey, Brian, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. That honestly kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, a sneaky finish for you here at Homestead. Obviously, we saw some beating and banging at the end there, but you come home P3 here for the last race, the finale here at Homestead. Obviously, you, the 13 and that 55 were battling it out for that P2 and point. So just walk us through that race, walk us through that finish and what got you up here.
So I was kind of busy a little bit this week, so I didn't have as much time to practice. So I knew it was going to be a tough one. Once the stages ended up the way they did, and I knew for a fact they had gotten points for leading laps and finishing where they did in the stage, how far ahead they were at that point. And then once kind of everybody left, I was like, I'm screwed. I was like, there's no way that I can finish anywhere high enough to get up to them in the thing. So I knew I was going to finish fourth. But at the end of the day, it's quote unquote Final Four. So I guess it's okay. It's all right. I'm all right with it.
Obviously, I mean, that's kind of the caveat of only having 11 cars show up, and I talk about this a lot on the broadcast. The only person who doesn't want that are kind of like the guys who have points that don't need people to show up. And unfortunately, for guys like you and and DJ and 55 of Gabriel, you guys need the people to show up to give you guys a chance here. And obviously, with the 55 and the 13, and it didn't really matter where you finished, but at the end of the day, still coming home with a P3 podium for your team and everybody who worked hard on this 84 machine. But talk us through, obviously a lot of people reckon at the end there, do you think it was just from people, over driving the car, or do you think maybe as the track, got rubbered in, it really made that turn 2 a little bit more unpredictable?
So, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I know towards the end of the race, turn 2 was definitely getting really tight. But I'm not sure if you caught it on the broadcast, but there was one where I spun around and hit the inside wall. I'm not really sure what happened because I drove the car the exact same way I had the previous 15, 20 laps, and all of a sudden it just snapped loose. And Kendorian kind of said the same thing when his just snapped loose. Like, it was weird. It was random. I didn't quite get it, but I mean, it made it so you had to be on your toes.
We definitely caught that slide from you. Luckily, you were able to save it. But yeah, that's what I noticed. Obviously, we saw Kendorian do it. We saw the 25 do it. Obviously, we saw your um you lose the car there. And we saw a couple of guys have an issue at a turn. Obviously, kind of the characteristic of the track there at a turn two as it rubbles up. It's a little dicey there, but you know, beside that, you were able to recover from that. Obviously, got a little bit of help from Kendorian, not from Kendorian, DJ, and a lot of these guys, getting caught up in stuff, but still able to come up here, get a podium, get an interview for yourself. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out here for this podium spot here for the finale here at Homestead?
I want to shout out. I mean, I know they're gone now, but Andrew Tenold and Alex Eskridge, the owners of the team I race for giving me the shot. I want to thank pretty much. I'm gonna go ahead and shout out my girlfriend here. She really does her best to let me do what I need to do on these days, and she understands it fully, and I'm very appreciative of that. That she lets me pursue what I love to do. And yeah, everybody over at BDRC, Bass Pro Shops, make sure you go blackdirtracingco.com for some special merch. I know we have some Halloween stuff. We're going to come out with some Thanksgiving stuff here soon, too. T-shirts, that is. And yeah, that's pretty much all.
Well, we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us here for the season finale. Once again, congratulations on this P3. Hopefully, we can talk to you next season. You can build on this momentum and keep going here for your season. And congratulations on this P3. Let you go and celebrate with your friends and family, and you have a good rest of the night.
All right, thank you so much.
That was your P3 finisher, Brian White. I believe that was one of his first interviews of the season. Obviously, happy that we got to finally talk to him up here in the broadcast booth. I was wanting to bring people up throughout the race here tonight. Unfortunately, I could not find anybody in their VCs or anything, so could not make that happen. But I guess it's time to go through your unofficial race results here, presented by High Velocity TV here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Obviously, we saw Gio Turpin take it here for the finale here for the Backmarker.shop championship. Kendorian Davis, your season 2 champion, P2, be about a little under a second and a half behind Gio Turpin. Brian White, we just talked to him, P3. Gabriel Goli, P4. TJ Henley, P5. And the last car running, Benjamin Bushnell, Joseph Enright, Caleb Gordon, Zach Case, Eli McDonald, and everyone else on back out early. Jonathan Dolly as well. Round out your top 11 here from Homestead-Miami. But a fun race to call, even though there was 11 cars, even though at the end we only had about 5 or 6 cars left. Gio Turpin, Kendorian Davis, TJ Hanley, Benjamin Bushnell, all those guys, even Gabriel and Brian, they put on a heck of a finish and a heck of a race here in those last closing laps, even though we only had a couple guys left here in the race. But talking from me and me personally, I appreciate the opportunities from everybody over here at Prestige Cup Series, at the Prestige Cup Series and the Prestige Racing Series, for allowing me and High Velocity TV to come and broadcast for you guys. Obviously, hopefully we can come back here for season 3. This relationship with everybody here, JJ and Kendorian and all the admins here, me, Matthew and Peter and everybody here at High Velocity TV, really enjoy coming here, putting on a broadcast for you guys at home. I mean, what a finish, what a result. Congratulations to Gio. Congratulations to Ken for the Season 2 championship. Like you said, he's been hard. Has been in a lot of championship races. This was the first time he's been able to seal the deal. So congratulations to Kendorian on the championship. I appreciate everybody for coming out, watching the broadcast. If you don't mind sharing the broadcast, I mean, this is the race. If you want to share with anybody, who finished the championship out, who did well, who didn't. You guys would really appreciate it. Whether if you're on Twitch or whether if you're on, share the broadcast with friends and family. Someone give it a like and stuff like that, because we are a small broadcasting network trying to grow and everything else. If you guys are looking for any information on the network, or whether it's wanting stuff broadcasted, whether it's any graphic design work, whether it's wanting to be a part of the team, whether you want to try to step into the booth for a couple races and try your hand at that. Whether you want to try to get into producing stuff, which does pay quite a bit of money here, high velocity team. Make sure to email us at hvtvbroadcasting@aol.com. Or if you do have my Discord, you're more than welcome to just message me Discord as well. But once again, I appreciate all the love and support, guys. I appreciate once Stage Cup Series allowing us to come in, and show off our talents and allow me to what I love here with broadcast here, whether it's in real life, whether it's your sim. Broadcast heat time is broadcast heat time. And you guys have been watching the finale here for the Prestige Cup Series at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And for the last time, we're going to close out the chapter here for Season 2. Hopefully, be back here for Season 3 to start it out strong once again. I was told that if we do come back, they're going to take a little bit of an extended break, so we will be back around January, February-ish. So hopefully, keep an eye out for some more Prestige Cup racing. See you guys soon. I appreciate everybody else. I appreciate all the support. My name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. I appreciate everybody who's come out, and I appreciate shout out to Peter Terrio for coming in here, on a couple races with me, and shout out to Matthew Prochaski. Thank you, Matthew, for a couple races. We appreciate all the love and support. We appreciate all the company we've been given throughout the season. Hope everybody has a good rest of your Thursday night. Enjoy the season finale for the Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup Series this weekend. And we'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you guys.